If you're having trouble with your high school head, he's giving you the blues. You wanna graduate.
Podcast has started.
Oh, hello.
Hi, welcome to the Bargain Den.
Hi.
Yeah.
That was like super
You were
surprised.
mid-sentence. You may not even be ready.
That was me talking backwards to undo it.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was pretty
Hello,
great.
welcome to the Bargain Den.
Welcome to the Bargain Den. I'm Brandon.
I'm Donna.
And this is the Bargain Den.
It is.
It's your weekly financial source of financial finance, where we finance the financial finances and finance the finance, whether it's financial or finance.
We finance a bargain finance and watch the finance and tell you about the finances in the finance and let you know if it's financially frugal or a bargain.
Yeah, thrifty, frugal, bargain, clearance, finance, frugal, thrifty.
If this was SEO, we would be killing it.
Finance, frugal, bargain, coupons. So, Donna, how have you been?
I've been great. I've been
Great.
busy, but great. How have you been, Brandon?
I've been everywhere,
I'm not asking
man.
about Guy. I'm asking
No,
about you.
I've been everywhere, man.
I've been everywhere.
Been Tennessee and Tennessee and Tennessee and Tennessee and Tennessee and Tennessee. That's all I know of that song. But other than that,
I didn't know
pretty
you
great.
went to Tennessee. When was
Yeah,
that?
I went a bunch of times. Which time? Because I went to Tennessee and Tennessee and Tennessee and Tennessee and Tennessee and Tennessee and Tennessee. It was all right. I kept walking around to see if there was anybody that I could watch hit a ball back and forth with a racket. So I could be like, Tennessee!
Ha!
This is a nightmare.
Well, I shot a man in Reno.
Well, that's the end of the podcast. Admitting to murder. Got a real...
I feel like I've done this joke before, have I? Deja vu.
Probably.
Oh, no.
That's all right.
Oh.
But that's fine, because this is all we're just living in the time loop that is the world of the podcast, so.
It's all simulation anyways.
Sure. Why? It's fine. It's not a simulation. We don't have time to talk about it, but it's not.
Okay.
What did we watch this week, Donna?
This week we watched Luther.
Nope.
Dang it.
You said it with such confidence.
I was so proud of remembering.
Oh.
It's not Luther, it's Luster.
It's Luster.
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 Damn it.
Is that your Buster impression from
No.
Arrested Development?
It could be.
Buster. Mom
That
says
was
I
good.
have to go to Army.
So good.
Mother.
Why are you so good at impressions?
That's fine. It's all right. But no, we watched Luster. Mm-hmm. It's a movie starring a knockoff Jason Statham about male fantasy fulfillment.
I had no idea that's what we were getting into.
No.
Based on the loading screen, I thought maybe we were gonna have like an action-adventure hitman kind of thing.
Yeah. No, it's about a dude named Thomas Luster who keeps waking up and he's tired and there's somebody messing with it's him. It's his nighttime
Hey,
self.
speaking of spoilers, in case
No, fuck it.
anyone...
Don't watch this movie.
Yeah, we'll just say this up front. Don't watch this movie.
This movie sucked ass. We're going to spend the latter half of this podcast talking about other stuff than this dumb movie. Don't watch this movie. This is like...
I just want to clarify, we don't normally spend the podcast shitting on a movie,
Yeah.
but this movie deserved to be shat upon.
It was the worst movie. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. It was awful. Don't. I don't even care. I don't care if you make movies and it's really hard. I hope everybody in this movie worked really hard on this movie and it was the hardest thing they ever had to do in their life. And then I hope that they never did it again. I know they did because they have IMDb's that continued on, but...
Yeah. Hopefully to bigger and better things.
Let's just burn through this stupid ass movie.
So you were saying he keeps waking up tired.
Yeah.
He's sleepwalking.
He's sleepwalking. He's got an alternate ego that comes out at night that goes by his last name, which is kind of stupid. Like,
So we've got Tom and we've got Luther.
Luster.
Damn it! Yeah. Fuck my life.
It's all right.
Oh.
But, like, I just think it's funny that, like, because he would be like, call me Thomas. And it's like, I don't know. It's like if somebody was like, hey, Hamrick, I'd be like, call me Branton. Because Hamrick is somebody else. Like, what? No, it's still me. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Unless you've got a personality that comes out at night and murders people.
He just murders people. Luster. You almost made me call him Luther. That was your fault.
Sorry.
He kills people, and Thomas is trying to figure it out, and he doesn't, then he finds out it's him, and then stuff starts kind of going bad, and more people are dying, and he's trying to do well at his job, and it turns out that Lester is really good at his job, actually. He's an architect / landscaper, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little unclear.
There's a big job that he's trying to land with this, like, Hollywood. Okay, sorry. Another thing I kind of mentioned it at the top. Why are we shitting on this movie so much? And between every scene, there was a radio announcer that was talking that maybe was also Luster / Thomas. Don't know. But the whole time, the radio announcer is basically like, here's what women want. They want to be treated like shit. They like being treated like garbage. And your wife, she wants to sleep with your best frenemy. And here you are, a piece of garbage. That's what you are. If you were an actual man, a real bad boy, she will want to sleep with you. But she doesn't. She wants to sleep with your money and your neighbor. And that went through the whole movie.
Remember, nice guys finish last.
No. Bad guys finish first. Pew, 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 pew. I'm a badass.
Yeah.
Whole movie.
It's not technically, like, I don't think you're supposed to click that it's probably Tom until much later when the announcer finally is like, 'cause I'm Tom Badcock or whatever.
No, he says that's his name at the very beginning.
Yeah, Tom Badcock.
Timothy Badcock.
Timothy Badcock. And then later it's like he says, 'cause you're Tom Lester. Damn it. What? I don't know.
I don't remember him ever saying his name explicitly,
Whatever.
but it doesn't matter.
There's a very clear reveal moment, but by then it's pretty obvious it's been himself the whole time, probably.
I didn't
I don't
gather
know.
that, but
Anyway.
doesn't matter. This is garbage, and that was what he sounded like the whole movie. Yeah.
So he's got a wife. She wants a kid. He's been freezing her out for the last 6 months. He's got a job that's going downhill, and it's all depending on this project for Halo, the movie star or Hollywood star or whatever.
She wants a big statue that looks like her. Oh my god, like, it is so cool if I could have a statue that looks like me.
But it has to be skinnier, and I want water.
Yeah.
It has to be a water feature.
And then Lester makes the statue, and I mean, basically, Thomas just kind of fights him back and forth, and finally, it ends where Luther, the bad boy,
Lester, I'm sorry.
fuck off, damn it, has killed everybody except for his wife,
And framed the neighbor for the killings.
yeah,
And
and he's like, actually, I want to be the daytime guy now. Bye, Thomas. This is your last daytime shift. And Thomas, who you've been rooting for the whole movie and spent the whole movie with, you didn't see Lester in live at all. You just saw recordings of him. Then he wins. He takes over the daytime. And I will never forget the ending sequence of this movie. He has just made love to his wife, and she's laying there in ecstasy. Mm-hmm. And then it cuts to...
in a red bra.
In a red bra. Mm-hmm. In a red bed.
It's gotta be a red bra. I mean, red is sexy.
Yeah.
That's the color of bad boys and women who like bad boys.
They've just had sex, and then cuts to them having a baby, and then they make out while she's holding the baby, and the baby's clearly very uncomfortable. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Because, like, he's, like, doing the, like, aggressive bad boy make out, and...
yeah, and then...
he smacks her on the ass.
Jen is like, ooh, we like daddy, don't we? To the baby.
It's so gross. And then fucking hell, Luster...
Sorry.
gets on his Harley Davidson and drives away and shows up to his office where he has a new secretary because Lester killed the other secretary.
Because she wouldn't sleep with Lester.
we guess.
Apparently.
But this new secretary, she's there, and all she has on is a mini skirt and
A red bra. Obviously, it's
way
red.
more lacy than and this is, I didn't talk to you about this, but this kind of cracked me up. She was like, "Oh, hey there, Luster. I see you have an appointment with Halo. I thought you were done with that project." And he's like, "I've got some finishing up to do." And then she takes out her ponytail, doesn't she? I think she takes out her ponytail.
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of a weird thing.
It's kind of the opposite you want to do.
It's just weird. And then proceeds to, this is probably the most blue we've ever been on this podcast, but proceeds to fillet Luster. And he still has the same cigarette in his mouth because he started smoking now, by the way.
Yeah,
well.
Luster smokes.
Yeah.
Because he's a bad
Because he's a bad boy.
Bad boy.
That women want. And then it cuts to Halo's house. And she has a girlfriend who's played by Zelda Williams, which is Robin Williams' daughter. That in real life, that was weird. That's probably one of the bigger twists of this movie, was finding that out. And she's packed up and leaving. And then there's another person that hangs out with Halo who is a German man. And we assume that he's German because he sounds very stereotypically German.
Yeah, he's
And
like super built, buff, and blonde.
always six-pack abs, and he's always like, "Oh yeah," and he's
That
always
was
like,
perfect, yeah.
he's like dancing constantly. He's laying in like a hot tub where the statue that was built is spouting water, and he's just pelvic thrusting the water as it comes out.
Yeah, that was confusing.
All while there's a noise in the background, and of course it's Luster having sex with Halo.
Just on the balcony.
On the balcony, she has underwear and a top on, and his pants are down. You just see his butt, and it looks like he's having sex with her belly button. It's ridiculous.
Is that not where people
Not usually.
Is that not where you do the sex?
And that's not generally where you do the sex.
Oh, okay.
And then it ends on Luster's stupid face with the fucking beanie in LA heat and a cigarette, and then the line from the radio announcers guys like, "And remember, bad guys finish last.
Finish first."
Oh yeah, finish
Yeah,
first.
sorry.
Yeah, the whole. This movie is awful. Don't watch Luster. I don't care.
Yeah, it was horrible.
It's a bad movie.
Anything else we have to say about it?
Let's
or
go to the clearance aisle.
all right,
All right, we're back
we're back from the clearance aisle.
from the clearance aisle. Donna, what's your favorite movie?
What's your favorite idea?
Yeah.
Mine is being creative.
What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie. That's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
I have some go-tos,
Right.
but I can't pick just one.
You know, I think it's a very interesting question. I find that people's favorite movies are very interesting. They're very telling about people. More than that, I think the time from when you ask and like their reaction to it, like every bit of that is almost more telling than the movies themselves. I remember I asked, I worked overnight at a gas station every once in a while, and there was a bakery guy who'd bring our muffins and donuts and stuff. And I asked him once, I was like, "What's your favorite movie, man?" And he was like, "Gladiator, you."
Whoa,
I was
me
like,
too.
I was like, whoa, man, that's some commitment to have like loaded. I mean, it makes sense. Like that it's very telling, I think. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly what it says, but it says a lot, I think, that you have one locked and loaded. And it's good to have one locked and loaded because it's a very common question.
My one that comes to mind, my locked and loaded, is The Dark Knight.
Okay, yeah.
So it's a good one, but it's a lot of commitment. It's really depressing for me. Like,
The movie?
yeah, in a way, it's just all dark.
Well, yeah.
And anyway, it's good though. It's a good kind of depressing. It's got a silver lining and a hopeful ending. And anyway, but I also really, really enjoy Across the Universe. Mm-hmm. Who doesn't love the Beatles and freaking? Oh no, I just lost the actor's name.
Jim Sturgis?
Yes, Jim Strugus.
Yeah.
I think. Anyway, he's great. He was also in 21, and I haven't seen that in a long time, but I think he's great.
I feel like there was another one I was going to bring up. Oh, like, you also love Inglourious Bastards, right?
That's one I had on my iPod for a while, back when that was a thing.
that doesn't answer nor not answer my
I
question.
enjoy Inglourious Basterds a lot. It's been a long time since I watched it all the way through, though.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch it because at the time that I was watching it, I was not getting out of it everything I could have, for sure. Like, I know that I missed stuff. So.
Right. How I judge my favorite movies, I judge it based on ease of watch is one of the big things for me. There's several movies that, like, if they're on, I will just watch them. Like, we don't have cable or anything, so, like, we don't just have, like, movies randomly coming on or, like, oh, what's on cable or whatever. So it doesn't really happen anymore. But, like, there's just some movies that, like, if I walked in and somebody was watching, I'd be like, oh, I'm watching all of this. One of them that I just always really loved is Fifth Element. The Fifth Element. It is kind of problematic nowadays in a lot of ways. Not nowadays as much as just there's some elements to it that I wish.
Is it the fifth one?
Yeah. I don't like the whole like Born Sexy Yesterday kind of idea that they have for Lulu, like where she's basically like a toddler who is super sexy, and like that's kind of a problem. But like,
isn't that Scarlett Johansson?
No, that is.
Sorry.
I can't. She was the woman from Resident Evil.
Oh, dude, she was in Dummy.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was the punk rocker in Dummy. Now I have to look up that person's name. Mila Jovovich. Mila Jovovich. And Bruce Willis and Gary Oldman and stuff. Gary Oldman's amazing in that movie. Holy cow. Commissioner Gordon.
Oh, yeah.
Sirius Black.
Huh.
Yeah. Do you know who he plays in that movie?
Dude, I didn't even realize that those were the same people.
Right. You know who he plays in that movie?
Who?
He plays the bad guy with the emo hair swoop. He kind of talks like this. He's like, let's try this gun. Like, yeah, that's Gary Oldman. Like, he's amazing.
I forgot about that character completely until you said it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, he was fucking great.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Huh.
He's amazing. So is Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker is in there. Oh my god!
Oh yeah! Holy
yeah.
shit, that was so good. Okay, I'm remembering exactly why you love this movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dallas! We gotta get out of here now. Let's go, my god!
Your whole demeanor changes. It's great. I love it so much.
You have to do that for the voice. I love Billy Madison. It's,
of course.
It just holds a special place in my heart.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
Stop looking at me, Swan!
You're so good. I love it so much.
He's such a goofball in that movie, and like, I just watched it so many times growing up. Like, but I absolutely love it. It's such a stupid movie, and like, I don't know. There's something so carefree and like, I just admire the hell out of that kind of comedy because, like, I think for one, like, it just was such a different feeling from, like, the comedy that comes out today. And I'm not knocking it, but, like, so much of today's, like, newer comedy that comes out seems to be very, like, ad-libbed, which is, like, really impressive in its own right, and just, like, one-liners. And, but Billy Madison was just absurd. Like, they were like, what if there was this idea? And I don't know. It just was so good. And he plays such an idiot. It's so funny. Nudie Magazine Day.
Adam Sandler, right?
Yes.
He's just really good.
He's just so good in it. He's so wholesome, too. He's such a sweetheart. I think that's the thing, too, is he's not like an idiot through the whole movie. He's just, he learns and... I read a book about a dog.
You're so cute.
And then, I mean, I don't know. There's other movies I really enjoy. I love horror films and like really scary movies.
Oh yeah.
Another thing that I've really found that I think is a staple of what a film means to me or movie means to me is how long it stays with me afterwards. And recently I rewatched Hereditary by Ari Aster, I was blown away by the fact that the whole movie on my second watch, every shot I was like, and then this is gonna happen, and I was like, it's been like a year since I've seen this, and like I saw it once, but I remembered every single beat of that movie.
can we just... I just want to fire off a few horror movies while we're on it. Because on that note, the horror movies are a different level for me. Mm-hmm. And there's also some that, like, verge on just depressing, like, psychological horror, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is more like Ari Aster, and for me.
Mm-hmm. I think it's when... I love when horror films use the genre of horror to be a conduit for a certain, like, idea or notion. Like, Hereditary is on how a family deals with grief. Mm-hmm. Done very well.
On that note, one of my favorites that I haven't watched again yet, but I want to, is Mother.
Mother, yeah.
Mother, Darren Aronofsky.
That doesn't hold up as much on the second watch from my experience thus far, but I started to rewatch it and I didn't make it through it yet. But
I also love Jennifer Lawrence, so.
Right.
But also, I just lost it. I knew I should have just fired him off.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
It Follows is a great one.
It Follows. That's actually one of the ones I was going to say. It Follows was fantastic.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny that I just said that, but like movies like It Follows and It, the new Stephen King make, both of them, they almost, I mean, they have their kind of messages that they put, but those are just so much fun. They're so fun, scary movies.
Actual interesting premises, because you have an actual interesting, like, monster or antagonist or whatever. And then also just endearing characters, enough believability and enough suspension of belief. Like, it's just a good mix. And I don't know, there's just so much that goes into a great horror film, and those two get it spot on.
Yeah, some movies just kind of stay with you in that, especially horror, that they just have a lasting like veil over you. The Witch.
Oh my god, Witch was fucking creepy.
Dude, the director of that,
Black Phillip.
Yeah. It's very creepy. Director of that, their second, I think it was of The Witch. I might be wrong. Now I have to look it up. But their second movie came out this year at Cannes. It came out at the chicken restaurant.
Yes.
Hold on. I have to look this up. It's called The Lighthouse. And it's supposed to be... Okay, it's Robert Eggers. The Lighthouse. It's got Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe in it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That sounds incredible already.
And it's supposed to be... it's getting, 10 out of 10 reviews. Like, people are like, this is a masterpiece. And I want to see it really bad. It's not out yet.
Dude, there were a lot of things I can say about The Witch, and it wasn't one of my favorites just for personal taste preference, but it was immaculate. That's one thing I can say. It's like being fairly true to the time from everything I can tell. Oh yeah,
it really felt like, because it took place like in the early 1700s-ish.
Yeah, like settling of America times.
Like Salem witch trials, yeah.
Yeah, and it just felt so very real and...
1630s.
Holy crap, yo.
Yeah, so I guess it didn't feel enough for us to exactly know. But
I don't know enough about history to pinpoint it anyway.
And just kind of, I'm glad we kind of went through this, because one that has really stuck with me, same guy who did Hereditary, Ari Aster, did Midsummer. And I left...
Oh my god.
I left Midsummer not let down, but I wasn't prepared for what it was, because it was like different horror. It was very, very different. And... we saw that in Midsummer. And I have not stopped thinking about parts of that movie. And I think that that's going to probably be one of my top 5 at least. There's just aspects of that movie that was gorgeous. I'm excited to watch it again. It's terrifying. It's upsetting. It's not a horror film. It's not a horror film.
The whole movie pretty much is so bright and beautiful. Sunshine and flowers and just a feast for the eyes.
Gorgeous.
And the main actress, who do you remember?
I'll look up her name.
She's one I've never seen before that I know of.
I just had it. It's Midsummer. I mean, it's Midsummer. It's Midsommar. Florence Pugh.
Florence Poe. She's fucking incredible.
So I mean, everybody in the movie is incredible. Jack Rayner. William Harper, who plays Chidi on The Good Place. Will Poulter, who's in American Horror Story. Everybody in the movie is written and directed by Ari Aster, and
Yeah, everybody's fucking fantastic.
amazing.
She blew my mind. That's the
She
thing.
really did. Like everybody in the movie did.
Everyone was amazing, but I guess in a way she was the main character.
Yeah.
So like she hit me the hardest, and she fucking blew it out of the water.
She had subtleties in her performance that were just, I mean, amazing. And like
The fucking camera work too on that emphasized
yeah.
everything they were doing. It was incredible.
It's just, I don't know. I think in movies like that, when you can watch somebody care about every aspect of it, like that's parts where like I'll see movies like that and like them or not, like there's a ton of work on, that was amazing. They just were like soul went into it, and like that's a very upsetting movie. And if somebody went and saw that and was like, I hated that movie, I would be like, that's absolutely okay. Like you are more than welcome to hate that movie because it's upsetting. And it's about some really upsetting stuff that I've never seen put on film in that way. But, I mean...
On that note, but bouncing off of it a little, Antichrist.
Yeah.
That's one for me that's, like, amazing, but, like, I don't know if I will ever watch it again.
I'm about to the point to watch it again.
Because it was so upsetting.
It was very, very upsetting. The thing that keeps me from watching Antichrist again is Lars von Trier. I have a Trier or whatever. He kind of like came out as a Nazi, and like I have a weird like connection of like, I don't know that I feel very comfortable. Milkshake, stop playing with the tennis balls. It's being weird. I don't feel very comfortable putting into that in that kind of way.
Yeah.
It's a little tough. I somewhat respect the idea of the death of the artist, but like, he's also, I don't know. It's masterful work what he's done, but it's like he's a bit up his own ass, and like there's just some I don't know. It's just tough. It's tough for me because knowing that, like I remember watching again, Antichrist blew my mind, and watching like the director commentary afterwards, he was like, I was operating about 40%, and it was like,
Yeah.
fuck off, dude. Like I don't know, like I just. When there's no like humility or being humble in like what you're doing, like clearly he's got a grasp on stuff, and I don't know. There's just some issues with that, but yeah, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off with that, but Antichrist is another one. It's
Yeah.
upsetting, but very good.
Yeah.
Man, there was a bargain bin movie we watched recently that I really liked. What was that? Because we tend to get kind of like the best way I can describe most of the movies that we. Get Out was another good movie.
Get Out's very good.
Yeah, I don't. Well, never mind. I was going to talk. Us. I can talk about Us. That's fine. Us was a good movie, but it didn't stay with me like Get Out did. Get Out was just amazing, and I think he had more fun with Us. I feel like he had kind of a chance to cut loose in that way, but
Yeah, Us felt a little bit more experimental.
yeah,
And still great, absolutely. And this could also be just my lens that I watched them both through. But Get Out felt like it had a lot of layers. Like this had been brewing for a very long time, like
right.
center of attention, working on like every little aspect. So
I'm sorry. I'm going through our bargain bin episodes, trying to remember like having like the title like spring to my mind.
but of course the titles are
Yeah,
yep.
You've been
Titles
there.
aren't in there. Yep.
I was like looking at it. I'm like, I don't know what movie is. Or
It was pretty recent, right? Or no?
yeah, there was something recently that we watched that.
I actually quite liked Nurse Betty. I thought that was fun.
Nurse
It's not
Betty
going to
was
go
fun.
in a favorites list of mine, but it was really good. Let's see.
I don't know.
I also really liked the one we watched before that.
Oh, The Edge of Love?
The Edge of Love.
Yeah.
Fucking love Keira Knightley, though, so...
That's fine. Maybe it was, it may have just been, Love Is All There Is. That was just a lot of fun. I don't know. Man, I thought it was just a couple episodes ago. But you know what it wasn't? It wasn't Luster. Don't watch Luster.
Yep, don't watch Luster. It's not frugal and it's not good.
So do you want to thank anybody for the podcast?
Yeah, I want to thank you for listening.
You're welcome.
I want to thank you for supporting us. Thank you for loving me. I want to thank Sara Anastasia for cover art. And I also want to thank the Lounge Kittens for the use of their cover Dirty Deeds for our podcast music. And thanks Anchor for hosting our podcast. If you want to support us on Anchor, just go on there and do it. Do the dang thing. Give a monthly contribution, something you can afford.
Yes.
If you don't want to support us monetarily, I get it.
You
But you can do it for free.
If you don't want to support us monetarily, you can support us momentarily.
By telling your friends about us
Yes.
and rating and reviewing us on iTunes. It certainly helps us out a lot when we get those rates and reviews.
Else, and you can become the bargainaire, just like the 1/10 of 1%.
Again.
Again.
Okay.
Again.
Well then.
Again. Another one.
Congratulations to the 1/10 of 1% who still holds the throne. Whenever you do rate and review our podcast, you will become the next bargainaire. And right now, I think Quentin still has the longest reign, our first and our longest, Quentin. And see if you can beat him. And probably try to dethrone 1/10 of 1% before they take the longest reign title.
Yeah, we don't want that.
So, thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you. It means a lot to us. My name is Brandon.
And my name is Donna.
Pinch those pennies.
And stay frugal. Brandon wrote on a post-it note, butts.
I miss.
Dirty deeds and the done dirt cheap.